Well, the next thing that I need to explain is what? The structure of what? Of virus. Look at the structure of virus. If we are talking of structure of virus, structure of virus. So if we are talking of what? Structure of virus. A typical virus comprises of two things. What are they? A virus comprises of two things in terms of structure. What is the first one? The virus contain we call genetic material called genomes or genetic what? Material, or we can also call it what? Nucleoids. Yes, genetic material which is comprised of DNA or RNA. The second part, component of what? Of virus that they have is capsid. Is what? Capsid. So the virus they also have what? What? Capsid. So this genetic material can be found inside a protein coat layer that surround the what? This genomes or genetic material in the what? In the virus. It's called capsid. And we have some virus. They also have what we call envelope. They have what? And what? Envelope. We have some virus that have what? Envelope. This envelope is an optional in what? In virus. Not all viruses have envelope. Please note it. Basically, the structure of virus comprises of two things. What's the first one? We have genomes, which is genetic material that contain DNA or what? RNA. And then we have capsid, which is a protein coat layer that surround the what? The genetic material we have in the what? In the virus. And this envelope is an optional, is also a what? A lipid layer which produce from the what? From the membrane. Is a lipid what? Layer that surround the what? The entire virus. And any virus that lack envelope are called leakage virus. Any virus that contain envelope are called envelope virus. So let us take it one after the what? The other. What is the first one that I would like to what? To explain is capsid. What is capsid? Let me take capsid. What is capsid? See, if I'm talking of capsid, like I said earlier, the capsid in a virus is a protein coat layer that surround the what? The virus. A what? A protein coat layer that surround the what? The nucleic acid of the virus is called capsid. Let me put it down here. Capsid is a what? Capsid. Capsid is a protein coat that protects the what am I calling it? It protect the nucleic what? Nucleic acid. Protect the what? Nucleic acid, which is what? DNA or RNA. The capsid is a layer that protect the what? The nucleic acid of the virus, which is DNA and what? And RNA. And again, this capsid it also it also generates the DNA or what? Or RNA. This same capsid is what is protected. It also produces what? The genetic material of the virus. So what are the source of genetic material of virus is what? It's capsid. And the same capsid when it produces what? It also what? Cover the what? The genetic what? Material. And the next thing is what? The capsid is made up of what am I putting it to? Is made up of a monomeric unit. Capsid, capsid is made up of monomeric units called capsomere. Hello? The basic unit of what? Of the capsid is called what? Capsomere. I will show you the structure here. The basic unit of the capsid, what do we call it? Is capsule what? Capsomere. Let's check it now. Yes, it's what? It's capsomere. And this capsomere is also made up of what? Of two or more monomeric units called capsule what? Capsomere, also made up of protometer. Hello? The smallest unit of what? Of the capsid is what? Is capsomere. And the smallest unit of the capsomere is what? Is protometer. Don't bother yourself. I will give you the structure of everything. And the next thing that I will like to explain under this capsid, a protein coat layer that surround the what? The virus is the same capsid that is what? Give a specific shape to what? To virus. So the capsid also what? Capsid also give specific shape to virus. This tell us that is what? All virus, they don't have the same shape. Virus exists in different shape due to the what? The kind of what? Of the capsid the what? The virus have. Are we? And here, the shape of the capsid, the shape of the capsid, the shape of the what? Of the capsid may be spherical, spherical or golf ball like shape. See, it may be what? A spherical or a golf ball like shape, or it can also exist in what? In helical, or it can also exist in polyhedra. Poly what? Hydra or complex. Hello? We are still on the what? On the layer that surround the what? The virus. The protein layer of course is called capsid, which protect the internal structure of the virus, which is DNA and RNA. The capsid is comprised or is also produce the genetic material we have inside the what? The virus. The monomeric unit of the capsid is capsomere. And the capsomere also comprise of the what? Of the smallest unit called protometer. And the capsid gives specific shape to virus. This tells us what the virus exists in different shape. The shape of virus may be what? Spherical. If we are talking of the what? Of the spherical shape of what? Of virus, we can have the shape of virus can be what? Spherical. If we are talking of the spherical shape of virus, we can have virus in this form. Hope this is big. Then we can have virus in what? In this form. This is the virus in what? In a spherical what? Form. And if we have virus in this spherical form, we will have it will be in this form. So look at this virus now. So this kind of virus, we call it what? Is a spherical shape of what? Of virus. I can call it what? A spherical. Sphere. I don't know the word is spherical. Spherical. Good shape of virus. Example of this spherical shape of virus, we have influenza virus. So this is influenza what? Virus is a what? Is a spherical and it's has what? It's skies around it. I will explain this structure details. But you can see that is what? It's spherical, Abi. And look at this shape here. The shape we have here, you can let me write it like this. Like this. Can you see it? This everything you have here, you can see it now that I use what? The red pen to shade. They are capsid. What do I call it? The capsid is a layer that surrounds the what? The bacteria. Sorry, the virus. And the smallest unit of this capsid, we call it what? Capsomere. So the capsid of this shape now is what? It's very cool. So what kind of what of virus have a spherical shape? We have influenza virus. And this same spherical shape of virus, we can also find it in what? In coronavirus. COVID-19 virus is also spherical. So the capsid. But we have some virus that their what? Their capsid is in form of what? Of this. Can you see this structure? This is a virus. So the virus we have there, yes, but you know, I said this is a what? A virus. And this layer that surround the what? The this layer that surround this, we call it what? Cap what? Capsid. And the capsid for this what? Virus is what we call what? Polyhedra. I said poly what? Polyhedra. An example of what? Of polyhedra virus, we have what? Adenovirus. are what? Adeno what? Virus. So the capsid for this one is what? Give us polyhedra. The capsid of this one is give us what? A spherical shape. Abi now? So, and we have what? Some virus that exists in what? In helical shape. If virus exists in helical, we have it in what? In a virus that exists in what? In helical what? Shape. This is the virus. And in his body, we have something like this. This is how what? The helical virus look what? It will be in form of cylinder, helic. Can you see this? This virus is what we call what? Helical virus. An example of helical virus we have tobacco mosaic. Tobacco mosaic virus. And the third example is what? Is polyhedra. You have, no, I'll give you polyhedra. Polyhedra or what? Complex shape. We have some virus that exist in this form, in form of polyhedra, and this same virus form a complex shape. To give us a complex what? A complex shape. Look at the virus. So this virus is what we call what? A complex virus. This is what? Complex virus shape. An example of this complex virus shape, we have bacteriophage. It's a virus that attacks what? Bacteria. You can see in terms of structure of virus. I said a virus consists of two things structurally: capsid and genetic what? Material. Abi, optional, the envelope be present. Abi now? Good. So what I'm trying to say here is this. Now, look at this what? The capsid is what that gives shape to what? To virus. The capsid of this one, the influenza virus, is spherical. The capsid of what? Adenovirus is what? Is polyhedra. The capsid of what? Of tobacco mosaic virus is what? Is helical. The capsid of what? Of bacteriophage virus is what? Is complex. In terms of what? Of the capsid that gives shape to virus, the shape of virus can be grouped into the what? Into this. Good. The next thing that I need to explain now is what? Is genetic what? Material we have in the what? In the virus. So we are done with capsid. The next one is what? Genetic what? Material. The what? Genetic material, or we can also call it what? Genomes, or we can also call it what? Nucleoid, or we can also call it what? Nucleic acid. So the genetic materials in the what? In the virus, they are the one that is responsible for all the OMS. They are the one that is responsible for reproduction in virus. They are responsible for reproduction in what? in virus, which is virus replication, due to the what? The presence of DNA or what? Or RNA. Have you know? And the genetic material, they contain either DNA called deoxyribonucleic acid or RNA. DNA means what? The full meaning of DNA is deoxy. Let me write it here. DNA means what? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Where R what? Na means what? Ribonucleic what? Acid. So DNA means what? Deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA is what? Is ribonucleic acid. Two of them are components of what we call nucleic acid. Is one of what? Of the chemical of life we have. Nucleic what? Acid. So a what? A single what? Virus must either DNA or what? Or RNA, and they occur in what? In single-stranded or double-stranded RNA. The single-stranded RNA or double-stranded what? What? DNA. So look at it now. If this is what? I mean, this is the what? Genetic what? Material we have here. This is genetic material we have. So this represents what? DNA or what? Or R what? RNA. Like this one too, we have it there. This is what? Genetic what? Genetic material with DNA or what? RNA. The same thing we also have it in what? The Helica virus. And the same thing we also have in our what? The bacteriophage what? This is it here. Now I said that the protein code protect the nucleic acid, DNA or RNA. That's what I want. This is what the code that is what protect the genetic material. This code that protects it is called capsid. And in terms of what? Of genetic material we have, in what? In the virus can also be grouped into two parts. What and what? The one that is have what? Virus, any virus that is have R what? RNA are called ribovirus. Ribo what? Virus. That is virus that is contain RNA are called ribovirus, and the ribovirus cannot be grouped into the what? Into two parts. We have what? Double strand dead what? RNA virus are called DS virus. And we also have what? A single strand that are what? RNA virus. So the same thing that is what? Any virus that is contain DNA are called deoxyribovirus. And it's also grouped into two parts. We have a what? A single-stranded what? DNA virus. And we also have what? Double-stranded what? DNA virus. So that is all about what? The genetic material we have what? In the virus. What makes virus to replicate is the presence of nucleic acid. This is known as what? Genomes. Either DNA or RNA. But what produces the genetic material inside it is capsule. And the same capsule surround the what? The genetic material in the what? In the virus. In terms of the genetic material now, the virus can be grouped into the what? Into two parts. DNA and RNA. Virus that contain RNA are called ribovirus, which vary into two parts. Single-stranded RNA virus and double-stranded RNA virus. But any virus that contain DNA are called deoxyribovirus. It's also composed of two parts. Single-stranded DNA virus and double-stranded DNA virus. And the last part of the structure of the virus we are going to treat is called envelope. I said, which is what option now. So let us treat the last structure of virus, which is envelope. So envelope. No, I said the envelope is what is optional. Not all virus that contains what envelope. So the envelope, a viral envelope, I said is the outer thin layer of virus. Of what? Of virus. Is outer thin layer of what? Of virus. So this viral envelope, after we have capsules, it also surround the what? Capsules. The normal layer, the outer layer of the virus is capsid, but we have some virus that they also have what? Another envelope which surround the what? The capsules. What? Outer thin layer of what? Of virus, and the capsule is a protein coat. So this one, this envelope, the envelope is composed of what? Envelope is composed of protein, lipids, and carbohydrates. But capsids comprise of what? Only what? Protein. Yes. The next thing is what? The envelope have a tiny projection on its surface, which is look like a what? A finger of what? Of woman. Let me say what? It has the envelope have what? Many small projection. Small. For what? Projection. It has many small projection on the surface called spikes. Called spikes. On its what? Let me complete it. On its surface. On its what? Surface. So look at the envelope. Let me put it in this way. Take, for example, no, don't worry, I will draw it. It's a tiny layer that surrounds the virus. It's composed of carbohydrate, protein, and lipids. And it has what? A small projection, which look like a finger on the surface called spikes. And these spikes is used for the virus to attack, or is used to attach virus to the what? To the host. Or its spike is only bind. Spikes sorry, spikes spikes is, are used for attachment. They attach what? Host the virus to the what? to the host. So the spikes is what is a small projection of what of envelope, which always used to bind the virus to the what to the host cell. That is the function of the what of the spikes. And this envelope envelope also give shape. Mm, the envelope also give what shape, or its envelope below also envelope FE now. Envelope also give or provides deep shape and rigidity to virus. And we have some virus give shape. Let me put it in this way. And let me add this first before I withdraw it. The viral envelope virus or virus, let me put it this way, please. Virus with viral envelope. Virus with viral envelope are called viral are called envelope virus. Called what? Envelope virus. Virus. But virus without viral envelope are called non are called naked. Yes, are called what? Naked virus. Yes. Look at it now. Look at this virus. We have a virus in this form, and in this virus now, this is the in the represent. This is the what? Capsid. This is what? Genetic material, either DNA or RNA. But this is a what? A virus. But if you have another virus in this form, this is also what? A virus. And this virus also have its own genetic what? Material. So this is the genetic material for this what? Virus. This is the capsid for this virus. But assume that is what? This virus we have here is surrounded by another what? Layer. Can you see it? Don't mind my circle. It's surrounded by what? Another what? Another layer like this. This layer that surrounds the what? The virus is what we call what? What? Envelope. It's surrounded with another layer. Can you see the layer? And the layer is contain this. Hope you can see it. Can you see it now? So this layer that surrounds the what? The virus is what we call envelope. Is what we call what? Envelope. So this virus that is outward envelope are called envelope virus. This, let me put it here. The layer that surrounds it, we call it what? Envelope. But this virus here is a virus without what? Envelope. This one we call it what? Naked virus. We call it what? A naked what? A virus. Virus without what? Envelope. So the name of this virus, we call it what? A naked virus. Virus. And this one, we call it what? Envelope virus. So you cannot see that is what? The envelope is a thin layer that surrounds the what? The entire virus. So the capsule is the layer that surrounds the genetic material. But where what? All the virus itself surrounded by the what? By the envelope. And this envelope comprises of carbohydrate, protein, and lipid. But this capsule contains only what? Only protein. Have you know? And I said this virus, this envelope, it can also give rigid and the shape to what? To the virus. Virus. So that's all about what? The structure of what? Of all virus. And the last thing that I would like to want to explain is this: the types of what? Of virus. And the types of virus, types of what? Of virus. Like I said earlier, the virus can be grouped into what? Into can be classified into different kinds. The first one, based on genetic material. Based on what? Genetic what? Material. If you remember now, based on genetic material, we are calling it what? Basis. Let me use blue marker here. Basis of classification. And here we have types. So basis of classification. You can use what? Based on genetic what? Genetic material. What are the genetic material? And we can also have what? Another one, we use that as what? R what? RNA virus. RNA virus. Virus. E.g., we have HIV. You can see that is what? Based on genetic material, the virus can be grouped into two parts. Any virus that have what? DNA are called DNA virus or deoxyribovirus. Any virus that have RNA are called RNA virus or ribovirus. But in terms of what? Of host. Of what? Host. Virus can be grouped into what? Into three. Any virus that attack animal are called animal what? Animal virus. Any virus that attack plants are called plant virus. Any virus that attack what? Bacteria are called bacteriophage virus. Are called what? Bacteriophage virus. So, but in terms of what? Of shape, I've explained it before too. In terms of shape, virus can be grouped into what? In terms of shape, can be grouped into three. Part two. We have what? Helical shape of virus. Example, e.g., we have tobacco virus. And in terms of what? That have helical shape, the one that is have what am I call it? Polyhydra or isohydra. Hydra. Example, we have adenovirus. And the common one, in terms of what have a complex what? A complex shape virus. We have what we call what? Bacterial what? Bacteriophage. So these are the what? The three basic class of what of virus. Virus can be grouped into what in three parts. Can be classified based on three bases: genetics, material, host, and the shape. So those are the three things that we use to classify what virus. Based on genetic material, RNA and DNA, host, animal, plant, and this and the bacteria, shape, helical, the polyhydride, and the what and the complex what shape of what of by what of virus. The next thing of virus that we are going to what to treat is what there is a representative of virus which is known as what bacteriophage. According to the what to the syllabus, there are two things. So let us look at what the one example of a what of a virus. So the representative of what of virus we are going to treat now is what is bacterial what bacteriophage. Let's look at what is bacteriophage, its structure and its life cycle of bacteria what bacteriophage.